Whoa, we're back for some Bleach Soul Resonance, and we've got a new suite of content coming out. I mean, it's the last 7 days of the actual Ulquiorra patch, so I figured why not go into this new Kokujo Tengen Myo fight, but we're going to do one thing very particular this time. So, last time we just used the, sort of normal setup, which is they take a bunch of spirit damage, so why not just use Aizen and the gang to clear it? This time, we're going to take a bit of a more free-to-play, I guess, manner of doing this. We're going to go in with my pretty abysmal Toshido and try to get this fight done, try to collect all of the rewards, and, therein showing that it is possible, even pretty easy to collect all of the Jade rewards. If you want the ticket rewards, like I always say, just put, Grimjo on there, and you don't even have to raise him. You can just like have Aizen do it. But we're gonna go in this with Toshido. We're gonna go in this with Squad 10 as well. We're going to play the event how they want us to play instead of just doing Squad 5, instead of just doing Ulquiorra. We're going to play the event how it wants to be played. And hopefully, if you're someone who maybe you pulled or picked or selected or what have you, Toshido with your selector at the beginning of the half anniversary, maybe this is something that you're looking for, something that is like this. You didn't want Ulquiorra, I told you to get Bankai Ichigo, you said I want Ulquiorra, I want Hitsugaya, I don't want Ulquiorra, and because I don't like Ulquiorra. Sure, well, we're gonna do that, and we're just gonna see how it goes. I'm pretty sure we should be able to clean this up. Again, just for reference, my Ulquiorra, he ain't so hot, but we're going to beef him up a little bit before we get into this and see how he does. So I'll come back when that is ready. So we gave him some level 30 stamps finally. He's up to 63%. He's got crit damage here, 51% spirit damage there. He's now level 90. I'm not going to raise him to level 10. We'll go ahead and grab him some of these as well. He's cutting into our Bankai Ichigo funds here, so or not Bankai Ichigo, but Trushikai Ichigo funds here, which is kind of inconsiderate of him, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll let him rock. We'll let him rock for now. So let me go ahead and get him his exchange rewards here. Thankfully, I am a decent man. I'm not gonna hoe you, Toshido. I'm not gonna go in there and make you look too pathetic, hopefully. So hopefully people will approve of what I'm giving to the boy here. And yeah, we'll get in there, we'll see how he does, and hopefully this will be a pretty, free-to-play friendly version of this challenge. So let me start it up. Essentially, I'm gonna go in here. I'm going to, by the way, I did all the adventure mode, if you were wondering. Make sure you get this done over here pretty easily. But I'm going to go in here, I'm going to take only Squad 10, or mostly Squad 10. I'm going to try to unlock the ultimates, and we're going to just see how he does. We're going to see how he does. I've never done this. I've never done anything with Squad 5 before. Squad 5 just is completely broken, but we'll see how he does. And coming back in here, here's the fight. I mean, this is going to be the very definition of a mid-adventure mode run. But again, this is not being done so that you can feel like you need to have to do a billion runs to get the perfect setup, so that you have to do a billion runs to get the most possible amount of damage. This is purely being done so you can get your rewards. If you want a better version of this run, you're just going to have to do a few more adventure modes and make sure you actually have good materials, like, an extreme awakening on the core stamps and weapon stamps, an extreme awakening on maybe getting some of the actual character abilities. You see I take a big hit there, sadly. But I clean up a little bit partway through this. Again, Hitsugaya has never been... I keep saying Ulquiorra, and I need to stop. Hitsugaya has never been a character that I've used a ton. For the longest time, I essentially didn't know how free-to-play friendly Hitsugaya or the game would be. So when Hitsugaya's banner came around, I actually skipped his weapon, not really, interested in possibly missing out on a bunch of Jade if the game, wasn't going to be as, free-to-play friendly as I thought. So for a lot of people who might not know this, like, I essentially had a bunch more Jade at the start because not only was the game starting, it was new, but I literally did skip a banner. I mean, it's sometimes hard to remember that, like, you do save up quite a backlog of Jade just skipping one banner, even if it's the weapon banner. And in that case, it's what I did. Again, I didn't know how free to play the game would be, so I went in thinking, why not just save on this, skip Hitsugaya's, maybe it won't be that maybe it won't matter that much. Of course, it did end up mattering quite a bit, but as you can see, very normal like rotations going around. My rotations with Hitsugaya are not very clean. My Aizen at B4 rotations are not that clean. Again, I've never really played the character past B0, so some of this can be chopped out. You can see that I am remembering to cancel the third hit of the dragon from Hitsugaya, though I could be canceling. I do clean this up later, but you can cancel it really, really early, and I, again, am just, like, so rusty. So we are slowly putting together that muscle memory. Maybe we'll see it here. You can get a really early cancel. So one, two, right here. Yeah, there it is. That's a pretty good cancel. Maybe that was even a little too early, but I should have finished the counterattack there, but again, more growing pains because I do not have that muscle memory in me. If I did do that, I probably would have been able to use the tactic and then, or the battlefield skill and then go into ultimate, which is optimal, but as I said, pretty sloppy stuff. But even with a sloppy run, it is like not untenable. You know what I mean? It's not impossible. I should just be ulting out. I'm pretty sure I should literally just cash out here. I don't know why I'm staying in Hitsugaya this long, genuinely. I don't know. Maybe I'm just having way too much fun, right? Way too much fun here because I should definitely have swapped out. And we at least get a few in and then go in. We do catch that in time, so that's nice. But Aizen doing big. I mean, Aizen, if you have, most of you have Aizen, if not all of you have Aizen, but Aizen's going to be the one doing the, bulkhead of the damage anyway, anywho, so it's not a super big deal if your Hitsugaya is not up to snuff, but, I would always, I'm way too early there again, man. I am so rusty with Hitsugaya. It is just such a genuinely not good run. So for me to get the missions done, I cannot stress enough how you can do it. You can get through the run. You can get a pretty, you can get your Jade done. I do go ahead and counter this one. I have been slacking on my counterattacks up until this point, but I think this is where I make up a good amount of time. So we get everything set up here, and hopefully I do use the co-op skill soon. Yeah, I did use a co-op skill eventually. I was a little scared. Billions of damage coming out from Aizen. Huge, an entire more billion from the goat here. And this is gonna be time. So I think here is where I put together what I would consider the preferred route for him. So we go into the, we put the stick in the box, had to hit the lick with the box. I would have liked just ulting there personally. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe we get it still. There is a little bit of a delay. That is 376 million. So no, he recovered sadly. I should have just ulted with him instead of switching into Zalapro, I think. But we get a ton of time caught up on these stages there. And cashing out with Aizen always feels like $1 million. So, that's not going anywhere. Complete stage 36 with 36 seconds to go. Ain't that just beautiful? We are essentially wrapping up here. But we still have like 14 stages to go. So let's see if we clutch out. Man, Aizen, this mode is so fun because you just get to watch Aizen decimate. Is this what whales feel like all the time? Is this like what a whale Aizen feels like just constantly? It's just like doing the most damage. There is the clean early cancel from Hitsugaya. I get it really late. So you can get a cancel with Hitsugaya on his third swing really late. If you can get one earlier, you can tell me. You can leave that in the comments. I really don't know the sauce with Hitsugaya at all. So anyone out there who is a Hitsugaya like main or something and wants to enlighten people on how to make their rotations a little easier, go ahead, self promote. I don't care. I actually really don't care if people talk about their abilities elsewhere. It's fine. So we go immediately here, right? We get a big juicy chunk of damage, huge hit. We go up to 44, and we're just trying to cash out this last little bit, and we get it, 46, and Aizen comes in to clean up the remainder, I believe. Ooh, so close, and there's 50. I'll see you at the numbers. And I mean, there you have it. I mean, not a super clean run, not a super impressive run. If I go back in there with Ulquiorra, if I go back in there with Aizen, if I go back in there with Squad 5, I could easily get, max DPS overflow. I could easily get, more power packed into this run. But there you go, Squad 10. We got the Co-op Extension 1 and Co-op Extension 3. We didn't get any special technical supports. We got Extreme Relic All, which is pretty meager in the grand scheme of things, considering we didn't get the weapons one, nor did we get the core stamps one. I mean, the definition of a mid-run, and we still, against all odds, are able to take out the majority of rewards in one sweep. I mean, it literally one go around, and we've got all of the Jade rewards. All right. So again, showing that you don't really need, giga characters or anything. This is a mode that is pretty feasible for anyone who just wants to pop in, get one run done. Like, it is what it is. I mean, you could go back in. Like I said, if you have Ulquiorra, if you want to do Squad 5, you can go back in. I would say that, just run the team from before. Take out Ulquiorra, who is much weaker than why do I keep calling him Ulquiorra? I swear I've called him Ulquiorra like 8 times. Take out Hitsugaya, who is much weaker than Ulquiorra, and just do something like this. Go into Squad 5 like we did before, and run that shit up. You'll get a ton of power out of it, right? So, yeah, there you go. Not a good finishing rate or anything either. I mean, if you go to any of these, even if you just have a B0 Ulquiorra, yeah, one Ulquiorra, like, it's gonna be the Ulk show, right? So just demonstrating that for those who do not have Ulquiorra, you can still get all of the Jade rewards done. That was an incredibly mid run. I just want to show again, an incredibly mid run. Like, what do I have? I took Squad 10, which you can just replace with Squad 5 and do better, and I have none of the character awakenings. For the second time in a video, I took none of the character awakenings just to make sure that this was as just get in and get out as possible. Like, you will not have to do 3, 4, 5 adventure mode runs to get this level of power, right? That's what I wanted to demonstrate. So to anyone struggling, to anyone out there, it is feasible. You can take bad skills, bad this and that, and still work it out. I mean, that's more than enough. 60 floors to get your, or I guess 50 floors to get your J rewards. It's more than enough. It's more than enough. We can just go lastly to wrap up here with my Toshido's overall stats. I mean, levels 90, like I said, stats aren't amazing or anything like that, and the stamps are actually just not even that great. I mean, this is not good. This has HP 2 on it. This has flat attack and defense on it, and this is okay. This is actually a pretty good piece. I will say that. This is actually a really good piece. I like that piece. But otherwise, very attainable. No dupes in the core stamp. No dupes in the core stamp from the actual adventure mode itself. Level 90, you can do it. You can do it. But with all that being said, I've been Lone. Make sure you get your rewards. Don't slack on those. 250 Jade, some odd Jade like that, coming down the pipeline. All you have to do is go get them. No grinding needed. No multiple adventure run modes needed. The definition of a pretty... I mean, I did one adventure mode run to get that run, which is not like... It was just not a good run. It is just not a good run. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. So, I've been Lone. Like, if you like the video, subscribe to the club. We'll go make it, and peace.